Gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Today we're talking about Kundalini awakening, one of my favorite topics, and we're going to dive deep into this one, man, because, oh wow, I mean, first of all, this is just an incredible topic, okay? And not a lot of people talk about this topic making a lot of sense. Okay, let's just say that. So I want to clarify that if you are ever confused at this, if you want to know more about this, just reach out to me, okay, to ask me more further about it because now I'm getting all of these major downloads. I just want to share with the people who are kind of familiar with this journey and know what Primal Sutra is. Primal Sutra, we are a collective of mystics without borders. We understand that we connect with other mystics from across the planet to help ourselves heal ourselves and our lineage, our generational line, as well as our friends and family, in this day and age, so we can cause a positive ripple effect for everybody involved. Okay. So if you're interested in this journey and you want to learn more about it, just shoot either of us a message. You can also go to Primal Sutra on Instagram. You can DM us there. There's a lot of chances for energy healing, energy work. You'll get energy work from myself and Ryan G, who's a more analytical shaman. I'm a more right brain shaman with my creativity. So you're going to get both hemispheres in real time helping you, right? Which is really cool, actually, if you think about it. So let's talk about this topic, man. Why did I call this riding the Kundalini dragon through the astral realms? Well, that's because that's what I've been doing, okay? That's what I've been doing in terms of a visualization. Using the Celtic Kairos system of the chakras. Let me show you guys, man. Let me show you guys. Some of you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but you're like, wait, that's kind of lit though. Okay. Especially this generation. Anyway, I'm not going to dumb myself down for you. You got to catch up. Okay. You got to catch up. Okay. I will show you this imagery. Oh, I quite like this one, even though it has shutter shock in the background. So Kundalini awakening is awakening from the pit, right? And if you understand, you're going through something rough right now, you feel like you're going lower, in your journey. Understand it's a journey of low and then high, and then a balancing that takes place, almost like a recycling that takes place in your own energy system. Okay. So let's just pull up this vector just for a general understanding, okay, of the Celtic Kairos. So this is what I personally use, okay? Actually, let me share this with the tribe first. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. It's been a while um, of just like, breaking this topic down. Okay. Forward to adepts. All right, cool. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay. The spiral. I have been fascinated by the spiral. The spiral is such an interesting process to me. Now, in my spiral program, of course, we use the traditional chakra system. You go week 1, week 2, week 3, like that, right? So week 1 is root chakra, week 2 is sacral chakra, up till week 8, week 7, then we have a character integration. And someone just recently finished that program with me. Her name is Carrie. So if you want to reach out to her, ask about her experience going through this. Because I'm sure she'll be happy to share and tell you how it's been. Okay. You can hear it from me, but just hear it from somebody who's gone through the program too. Anyway, so going from this root right? It's like a portal. You're slowly going inwards like this. It's an upwards, but it's an inward spiral here, right? So it starts from the root, right? Taps into the crown, takes it to the sacral, right? Like this and so forth. From the sacral up to the third eye, from the third eye down to the solar plexus, and so forth, until you rest in the heart space. And this is very, very key and important, guys. The heart space is really important in the dynamics of spirituality because this is the law of one. This is that energy of the choice point, okay? So the choice point is essentially saying that you choose courage and you choose love. You choose to live from your heart and you choose to remain open in your heart space. That's when you're going to get the spiritual influx of information happening for you, right? When your heart remains open, when it remains pure, when it remains not carrying the density, the lower densities of the planet. You know, some people have a very, very big heart chakra, you know, but they also feel the density and the stuckness of the planet too. And that's very unfortunate for very hypersensitive empath people, you know. However, at the same time, you have this incredible gift in order for you to perceive beyond. Okay. So actually don't shame yourself for that because you're going to lose that skill if you do, right? It's going to be more stagnant, more constricted. You have to actually praise that factor. I can feel more than others. That is a superpower. That's a gift. Okay. I'm not going to hide with that or just stay just by myself all the time. I'm going to learn how to optimize this thing through this video game of life. And I'm ready to use all the tools that are available to me. Okay. This is the way I want you to think as a savage shaman because we're not thinking about like, you know, la-di-da, uh, fake love and light, false light, new age, okay, spirituality. This is an advanced spirituality. This is going through the rungs of the ladder, and then you finally adjust towards something that really resonates with you. Now, if this path resonates, if this understanding resonates with you, let's say your Kundalini dragon, instead of going like this, it goes like a vortex, like a chakra vortex, reaches your heart, and then from your heart space, you can ride out into the astral. And since you're coming from your heart space, it's going to be very, very powerful in reaching any realm, any dimension, any, you know, location, okay, that you want to go to, whether you want to go to the future, the past, or medieval times, or, you know, maybe the heavenly celestial realms, maybe, you know, Nagaloka, maybe Pataloka, or, you know, Karmaloka. So it depends, right? Where you want to visit. Where do you want to visit? Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the inner earth, Agartha? Do you want to visit the inner planes of, Shambhala? Or where do you want to go, right? In the astral. Where do you want to visit? That's the first intention that you want to have. And but then also, I want to speak primarily about diving into this, you know, cosmic serpent's lair. The serpent has been absolutely let's just say, bastardized, demonized in the West. It's been shown as the devil, demonic. Okay, but actually, snakes are very loyal. Like, if you understand the Chinese astrology, snakes are the most loyal sign. So when people say that, you know, that person is a snake or whatever, that actually makes no sense in that context. Okay, so don't just go by what you hear, go by what you experience. Okay, anybody can talk about Kundalini all day long. It's who has experienced it that's going to give you an actual understanding and whose life is actually improving, I would say. Like, who are the spiritual people that have got the tech? Notice their lives change. Notice their lives change. That's all I got to say on that. Okay. Now, let's make this clear. Kundalini is not your average spiritual flex. It's not some casual namaste, right? It's not a sprinkle of chakras on your morning oatmeal. It is a full-on cosmic roller coaster. And some say that you hold on for dear life. So why does this mere whisper of Kundalini awakening get people scrambling from MRIs or, you know, retreating into a fetal position? And you see all these spiritual memes of like people, you know, foot stamping on your head, and then after enlightenment, ha ha ha, laughing and stuff like this. But no one really explains it. You're out here getting hit by energy waves like a spiritual UFC fighter, and the so-called experts are walking in to say, "Oh, that's weird. You better get that checked out, bro. That's not cool. That's not here. You came to the right place today. Okay, let's get real about what Kundalini is, what's actually happening in your body. How can you channel this spiritual inferno without frying your circuits? And buckle up. This is not for the faint of heart. If you're a pussy, get the hell out of here. Okay, this is for the bold, the badass, and the brave. And I accept you as you are. Let's not complain and whine. Let's actually do something about it. Okay. Now, there's an ascending water that represents your fight or flight system, driving ambition, ascension, connection to the heavens. And then there's a rest, digest, grounding, integration into the depths of the earth. It's more the lower realms, we would say the undersoul, right? Going way, 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 way below into the earth. And then the oversoul going way, 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 way up into the heavens. Okay. So you are actually this weird pillar of light, believe it or not. Okay. You're this strange pillar of light. And so you have energy going up, energy going down, right? And so you're going to sleep at night. Let's say you're resting. This is a pillow right here, okay? And you start from the root. Then you go take it up to the crown, the visualization. Let it rest here. And with your memory, with your imagination, with your intent, just hold it where your third eye is and then pierce beyond, almost like it's a veil. And then you're pushing with your intent and your attention and logic beyond the third eye and move with the third eye, but then also move with the heart space. So the heart space is the dragon. It's the rider. The dragon is the rider. Okay. It's the one that takes you through the journey. So this is the toggle of like, this is the mouse pad or whatever, right? And then the third eye is the one that sees the visuals and the visions. So it is the perceiver, it is the observer. The dragon is the flow. This is the observer. This is really real life, but now we're on the back of this visualization, this dragon, right? Which actually represents a part of our own psyche that we're riding in order to auto-correct ourselves in a way, right? And so this is a very unique, strange, bizarre journey for some. Hola. Yo. Hey, man. I cheat on you, bro. It's been a while. What's up, fool? Bariqua's here as well. Cool, cool, cool. Amazing. Good to see some old school folks back. That's amazing. Okay, cool, man. I've been really good. I hope you've been well, man. And Chica, hope you've been well. Okay, amazing. So a lot of people think that Kundalini energy, okay, call it Shakti, right? Associated with a feminine energy. But think about this, okay? Think about this. Shakti isn't just raw energy. A lot of people think it's raw energy and it's going into your feels, right? I just want to feel more alive, okay? Or whatever. It's not just that. It's not just raw energy. It's actually a profound power of intelligence. It's a body's intelligence. It moves through the body like a serpentine dragon. So it is fluid. It is alive, yeah. And it is wise. It's not just a surge of energy, is what I'm saying, okay? So it's an awakening of consciousness, okay? So power versus force, right? You heard of that term. Now we're saying Shakti versus force, okay? Now, this power, think of it, is it's helping you to almost reprogram you, okay? It's reprogramming you. And if you think of this transformation, there's five vital airs or pranas, okay? How do I explain this? There are these inner winds that we have. Usually it's five of them. I'm going to give you guys a very basic one to look at. All right. So this one is obviously showing the arrows, but it's showing it the arrows going up, right? All right. So Udana, Vyana, Samana, Prana, and Apana. Okay. Anamana. Right? Okay. The meta programs, these are meta programs. They orchestrate your body's subtle system. So Udana lifts the energy upwards, linked to your fight or flight, aging, spiritual ascension. Apana pulls you downwards, rest and digest, integration. Samana is a great balancer, so it sits at the core, kind of regulates and harmonizes the upwards and downwards flows. And Dhyana governs the circulation of the entire system so that it can communicate smoothly. And then prana energizes life itself. So it's the animating breath that kind of starts it all. Okay. Of course, this is my own understandings. Take it with a grain of salt. Read the disclaimer. Okay. Samana is like a barrier and a bridge. It's like the dragon guarding the gates of transformation. So you have one dragon, and you have another blocking the flow of the dragon, right? So when Samana is activated, the body becomes a vessel of dynamic balance, preparing you for this Kundalini awakening, right? So as it rises, it doesn't just activate your chakras, it creates this transference of this intelligence. So with each energy center lighting up, you can almost think of it, it's transferring wisdom as it moves, okay? And this communication shifts, it's like reprogramming the subconscious, right? So this dragon energy, okay, is drawing on laptop, so it's not. Okay. Okay, whatever. So this dragon energy, right, is sort of just floating around internally, like having the wisdom from one entire world. It's like Pokeballs, the way I think of the chakra points, right? So it's going through these different Pokeballs, okay, through this dimension of your inner world, okay, and it moves forward. So this communication, it shifts from left to right brain because it's intertwining logic, intuition, logic, intuition, logic, intuition. And it's ascending through your limbic brain, right? So it's reprogramming your subconscious mind now as you're going through Kundalini awakening. Your experience of Kundalini is deeply personal and unique, so never compare your journey to others. I want to say this again. Do not compare your Kundalini awakening to other people. Everybody has their own feelings, their own neural pathways that shape them and how they feel and process awakening. No two journeys are the same. Okay, my journey may look completely different than yours, but there are some overlaps. I'll help you spot some of these. For some, it might feel like fire. For others, it feels like water or air, or even the presence of a cosmic dragon coiling within. They feel that energy. But what most people mistake for energy is really just a projection of the limbic brain. You see, the Kundalini doesn't just amplify what's unconscious, it illuminates it. It illuminates the unconsciousness. So it brings these primal projections to light. And when we initiate the communication between our chakras, now it's like, imagine a telecommunication system now. Now this space can speak with this space and so forth. Now you're integrating raw potential into conscious power, right? So it isn't random, it's intelligent movement. That's what I want you to first of all understand. Each rise and fall in the spiral of energy is imbued with a purpose, as if it's like this alien fluid intelligence inside you, right? Think of it like this kind of symbiote energy, rewiring your entire being for a higher level of existence. Now, what the fuck is Kundalini, right? Okay, so picture this. At the base of your spine, you've got this coiled energy center. And it's not just chilling, it's waiting for you to wake it up so you can spiral up your spine and activating chakras like kind of a spiritual hotspot, right? This is your root chakra is like your Wi-Fi hotspot. Okay, you got to get through Ganesha, the obstacle remover, but he also guards the first obstacle, which is a paradox. But here's the kicker. If you're not ready for the signal boost, it can feel like you're plugging a toaster into a lightning bolt. Okay. So is it divine energy? Raw subconscious power? Is it the universe's most intense form of a wake-up call? Yes, all of the above. Okay. It's all of the above. We cannot say it's one or the other and create more duality. But I'll give you the metaphor of the two waters to help you understand this. Okay. What's your experience with Hanuman? Incredible, bro. Incredible. Very powerful energy, very strong, pure, solar masculine kind of energy that's also very compassionate, caring, graceful, right? Always seems to shape your mind into the positive side, right? Even when, Ravana was like talking bad to him, like, he just started praising Ram. You know what I mean? So we all have something to learn from Hanuman's energy. You know what I mean? Had to tune in for the Kundalini live. Been super busy lately. Gotcha, man. Yeah. Hey, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, man. Incredible. Okay. So yeah, it's all of the above. Okay. It's divine energy, it's raw subconscious power, it's a wake-up call, it's a re calibrating your inner system, right? So here's where most people actually screw up. They try to process Kundalini with their beta brain waves. Your beta brain waves, right, is like your daily grind, coffee, emails, existential dread. They try to access Kundalini from there, which is like trying to contain a volcanic eruption with like a fucking paper cup. Okay. You cannot use your stressed out, anxious brain and try to access Kundalini. Okay. Beta brainwave, hey, it's great for logic. It's great for spreadsheets. Okay. Kundalini doesn't speak in fucking Python, bro. It's fluent in alpha, theta, and delta, the deep primal layers of your subconscious. The alpha brain is like when you're chill guy, right? Shout out to the chill guy meme, man. Okay. It's the space where your ideas flow. Netflix binging feels therapeutic. Okay. Theta brainwaves is where you daydream, where you kind of go drifty. It's a little bit euphoric too, where your visions and intuition waken and you're basically like Neo in the Matrix. And it's kind of a hypnotic trance. So children are actually in theta waves. They're absorbing a lot at that age and they're learning, right, faster. So that's how their brains are, gathering this raw data, okay, from the theta brain. So theta is great for reprogramming your subconscious mind. If you play theta waves and try to access your Kundalini, way better, right? Than trying to beta your way to Kundalini. Okay. You beta males. Okay. So that's primal survival energy, right? Delta brainwaves is like your body's ancient autopilot. It helps you sleep. If you're having issues with sleep, okay? If you're having insomnia, issues with sleep, you got to listen to Delta Waves on YouTube. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's break it down for the badass spiritual warriors here. Okay. What happens during a Kundalini awakening? First of all, you will feel your energy rising up and down the spine, like someone's lit fireworks in your nervous system. This is normal. Okay. Don't call the fire department just yet. You might feel heat, cold, tingling, vibrations. You're like a walking, talking energy transformer. So if your neck hurts or your knees feel like it's hosting a rave, it's probably your body's doing some kind of maintenance. This is why yoga is so, so key and crucial, guys, right? To get rid of those body tensions or those little knots or whatever, right? The Brahma Nadi, Rudra Nadi, these knots. Granti, my bad. Brahma Granti, you know, Vishnu Granti, Rudra Granti, these are knots, right? They knot you up from the inside. So you have to work with these energies. And if you start crying for no reason or laughing like a lunatic, welcome. This is your Kundalini karaoke. Okay. These are like just Satori moments. Okay. Satori experiences. So little moments of mini awakening, you could say. that start to stack and give you an understanding that there's a whole entire sky, my friends. Welcome to the spiritual journey. You might just experience a lightning bolt in that moment, but you know there's a whole sky waiting for you, and your subconscious greatest hits are coming up for review. Okay? Let's just say. So some of you will see sacred geometry, others might see your text, your ex is texting you back. Spoiler alert, it's a metaphor, okay? This key is to observe, okay, not react, okay? So let me just say this loud and clear, okay? Powering through a Kundalini awakening is a rookie move, okay? You wouldn't try to sprint through a marathon without training, right? Don't do it with Kundalini, man. Krishna tried this and ended up bedridden, okay? Wishing he had a spiritual snooze button. So what should you do, right? Meditation is like a spice. Not too much or you'll burn the dish. Just dial it back, walk, breathe, hum a bit. Think Zen, not zapped, okay? Slow your roll. Slow your roll. Fix your gaze straight ahead. Open up your peripheral vision. This is Jedi training, but cooler, okay? Peripheral vision. The sides, so the entirety. Create that Shiva gaze. You know when you get like kind of like your eyes are like a little squinted, a little tired, and you practice scrying, right? A lot of mystics know what I'm talking about. But you make your eyes Buddha eyes or Shiva eyes, right? In that moment, your practice becomes a balancer of your nervous system, and it's keeping you grounded because you're aware of your surroundings, right? It's creating a safety for the body now. Because to do this, to shoot this upward spiral rocket all the way to the top and beyond, it's not easy, man, you know? So this is why we have to prime ourselves, right? I mean, sometimes hot and cold therapy is an ancient method, right? To create these intense body sensations. And it's refreshing as hell, right? Jump in the shower, alternate between cold and hot water, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But also, your subconscious is like a 5-year-old with access to nuclear codes, okay? You need to tell it very clear, simple instructions, okay? Thank you for this experience. Let's dial it down a notch. Make it simpler for me. Make it gentler for me. Make it easier for me, right? You got to speak to your Kundalini within you. Kundalini is not here to mess you up. This is a golden rule. It's here to wake you up. But just like any great power, it requires respect, patience, and a healthy dose of badassery, right? So take it slow, stay grounded, and don't let fear take the wheel. Okay, it isn't a curse. It isn't some weird demonic path. It's not some strange, uh, you know, emanation that you're creating. It's the next level of human evolution. So just own that, man. Just channel that and own that. It's just forget what people tell you about it, experience it yourself, you know, understand it, speak to it. I want to give you guys the contrast between these two waters, okay? So we're kind of understanding here, right? The samadhi is like the bridge almost that controls your core, your inner, like, right? Your solar plexus and belly area, lower dantian area as well, right? That whole area is like your core. That there's a lot of processing that happens through that point, as well as some people get very in the udana and they get up in the head. So they get all these intelligence downloads, right? Being heady, you can get the intelligence, you can get random like claircognizance, but then you also have to pull it down, right? You see how these arrows are going up? Well, to slowly bring that energy down. So, okay, it's the inhale and exhale of life. So, we know what duality is, right? Up and down, black or white, left and right. We live in a world of this. Okay. I want you to think of this analogy, spring water and sewer water. Okay. Some might make the distinction that, oh, well, they're just water, you know, they're different kinds of water, though. You got to understand. We love the power of contrast here in Primal Sutra, which is why we've created this archetype called the priest beast, priestess beast, right? Because we understand that when we think of sewer water and spring water, we instinctively know the difference, right? One is polluted and stagnant, the other is pure and revitalizing. But have you ever considered how this applies to your inner world or your relationships or even your mindset? So let's dive deeper into this metaphor. Let me know what's coming up for you in this metaphor. Hey, Crystal, what's up? All right, sweet. So we understand the definition of sewer water is where waste gathers. Okay. So if you have inner waste, what is that inner waste? Toxins, harmful bacteria, things you need to discard. In life, this could mean toxic thoughts, toxic people, toxic habits. Okay. Negative self-talk, resentment, limiting beliefs, people who drain your energy, procrastinations, addictions, overindulgence. Sewer water doesn't purify itself. It festers unless you intentionally redirect its flow or remove the source of pollution. Right, guys? I'm getting this download today. It's amazing. I don't know which guys are helping me with this analogy, but it makes perfect sense. Okay. So ask yourself this major question when it comes down to the sewer water within. What pollutes your life? Right? And that'll help you categorize. This is not good for me, actually. Right? This is actually bringing me down. Make a list, get an inventory on what is polluting your life. Secondly, the purity of spring water. It's the exact opposite question you should be asking for this. What nourishes your life? Okay. What nourishes your life? Water is such a beautiful example for me, and it's been one of my greatest teachers, just like it has been for Bruce Lee. And so spring water flows naturally from deep within the earth, right? And it goes through, it doesn't stop. It's filtered through layers of rock and soil, but it's also gathering minerals that nurture life. So what does spring water look like in your real life? Self-belief, gratitude, positive affirmations, supportive individuals that uplift you, share your values, exercise, meditation, productive habits, creative work. So spring water is not static, it flows, it evolves, it adapts. There's a rush. What makes it life-giving is that it is not static, it is dynamic. So a lot of people know that emotion is energy in motion, but they still choose to do nothing about it. Hey, man, what if you gave yourself an intention? You have all this maybe repressed sadness, repressed anger, depression, whatever it is internally, right? What if you set down a yoga mat and you spoke to your body beforehand, you did a prayer, right? You did a little meditation beforehand, and you told your body, listen, I want to get rid of this fear I have of this specific thing. Help me release this fear from my body through this yoga practice. Let your body do exactly what it needs to do. Don't judge it. If it's jumping up and down, just allow it to do that. If it's going like this and doing yoga asanas, allow it to do that. If it's doing weird trauma release exercises, allow it to do that. Okay, whatever your body's moving you towards, you got to trust in that, because the Kundalini is this intelligence. It already knows the finish line. It will tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay. So you can go to some Kundalini instructor and have them, really fine tune this in your mind. But again, it's not just the Kriya, it's these understandings with the practices. is going to illuminate this for you, right? So where do you stand? Where do you stand? What am I consuming mentally, emotionally, and physically? Where are my thoughts and relationships more like sewer water or spring water? Essentially, what you're saying is, what renews me? Laughing like a lunatic sounds good. Yeah. Negative people, spring water. Yeah, spring water gang, let's go. Um, all right, spring. So what drains me or what renews me, right? So you got to do an energy audit, a soul audit. Just write down what adds to your life, what takes away from your life. Make an intentional effort to replace the latter with the former. That's it. Okay. Pretty much, it's alchemy, right? Transformation. Just like wastewater can be purified, so can your life's toxic elements. So is it that I failed? No, you learned though. Okay. So meditation actually clears away this mental noise. Okay, the sewer water cleans it up, purifies, purifies, purifies. So what? You're back to a blank slate again so that you can create. You now have the choice point from the zero to now create positive connections if you want, right? Drink more water instead of always having soda, or like, you're making different choices now that you understand my body actually resonates with this. Maybe your body wants you to do something unhealthy, right? That's valid, but is that your mind or your body actually, right? That's what you might be confusing, and that's what maybe keeping you stuck in a certain habit or paradigm, right? It's like your body knows what to do, but then your mind will like lie to you and deceive you and like tempt you and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's important to understand though that all is mind. So if you have a mastery over your mind, you have a mastery over reality itself. Okay. It's amazing. You become the puppet master of your own higher self. It's absolutely beautiful, right? And it's a grace. It's a humility actually. It's not like, whoa, I'm up here and everybody else is no. It's like you can bring everyone up with you, and that's the beauty of this thing, right? So the filter is your intention. Without it, even the best spring water can be polluted. Without your intention, the best spring water can be polluted. Okay. So this is a metaphor. Why does it matter? This is a metaphor for flow versus stagnation. This is why I chose this example. Okay. So the sewer water represents stagnation and decay, where our energies, emotions, or relationships, they just stop flowing. They've just stopped flowing. So flow represents movement, balance, right? Harmony. When you stay open to growth, where you're learning, changing, aligning with the purity of this spring water. Now, I love the Christian example of this. I think it's a beautiful example. We can speak a little bit about that as well. Let me see my timing. Okay, let's finish this up and then I can talk a little bit about that too. So be the spring, okay? You have the power to choose which metaphor defines your life. No one else decides that for you. Life's challenges, people, circumstances, they will test your clarity, but just your consistent actions alone determine whether you thrive or remain stagnant. What's one thing you can eliminate today to reduce sewer water in your life? What's one habit you can adapt to invite the flow of spring water into your life? Because it's at the end of the day, it's the quality of your inner water that determines the quality of your entire life. The fountain of wisdom flows, but only the willing drink. You heard that? Yeah. Flow observer gang. Hey, I'm just reading your old comments. That's something. Okay. It's not about killing the ego. It's about creating a relationship with it so it becomes a servant to your soul. And they work together, actually. Okay? So in this fifth dimensional universe we call Earth, which is Universal Stargate number 3. Many, many lifetimes, you know. And we've got to understand there's this technology, and not a lot of people are understanding what to do or how to work with this technology. But the idea is around Christ consciousness, okay? Now, I don't believe that Christ is just a frequency or just a consciousness like that. It's not something that you can just tune into, because it is, I mean, it's the essence of God itself, right? The only difference between Eastern religions, Western religions, is we notice that Shakti is the Holy Ghost, okay? The Holy Spirit. So I believe this is actually a beautiful understanding. If we can, again, merge the Eastern teachings with the Western teachings. Because I think that there's a beauty in actually understanding both, right? Worry about things that don't matter, right? Your worry is a waste of your imagination, Barikwa. Your imagination is so powerful, and you can think beautiful thoughts that override those negative thoughts, right? So it's all about how you choose to see the images in your mind. Instead of it's, of course, every artist, creative, they experience this, right? Well, like, I'm gonna, all my work is gonna be destroyed, like I'm gonna be a fraud, like, all these negative thoughts, right? Or like, um, I'm gonna burn at the scrap heap of my own creations or whatever, right? Hold on one second. Just reaching back out to someone. Okay. Busy day, man. Busy day. So the water dragon. Hey, let's talk about it. The Christ force within. Okay. So yeah, this is a sacred science. I think Yeshua mastered this. His living water wasn't a metaphor, to me at least. It was the intelligence of Kundalini Shakti or Shaktipat. When he said, I am the vine, you are the branches. Do you remember this? Guys, some Christians in the audience, you guys will know, right? Some of this stuff that I'm quoting. I am the vine and you are the branches. You remember when he said that? Let's find the original. Let's find the whole phrase. John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Right? So this understanding is he spoke to the soul fractals. This is my own interpretation, of course. The many lives and dimensions we embody. He wasn't offering just worship, he was offering unity. He taught 12 apostles, mirror strands of the DNA, unlocking as we ascend to one heart, one mind, one soul family. So Kundalini is actually Christ intelligence in my own personal understanding of this. It's not merely energy, but conscious power. It carries the eternal life code. It awakens as we go within into the junk DNA scientists once dismissed. This junk is where our divine coding lies, and it awakens through sound therapy, light therapy, frequency therapy, the language of creation. Yeshua learned about these truths in Egypt, Tibet, and India through, his ascended master oversoul was Sananda. That was the energy. Okay, if you look a bit around this, he wasn't merely a figure of worship. He was an ascended master, right? Showing us we can embody our inner Christos. So his miracles, walking on water, healing the sick, multiplying loaves of bread and fish, this was a result of him activating his eternal life body. And when he spoke to the Samaritan women at the well, he said, if you drink the water I give you, you will never thirst again, right? The pre-eternal living water, you see, the primal, not a symbol, but a high-frequency, life-sustaining force found in only the most advanced spiritual traditions. So the living water, I think, might connect us to the 12th dimension, ascending humanity back to its original design, its blueprint. That's why fasting happens, that's why sun gazing, all these different practices that you see out in the spiritual communities, they're all trying to give us this understanding, the living water, connecting us to the 12D. So what do you guys think about this, man? I think it's a very interesting understanding. The Christ force and Kundalini are one. And as you ride the dragon of Kundalini through the astral realms, you then balance the two waters within, the sewer water and the spring water. You are recreating the original divine template, ascending, integrating, becoming one. And as the separation of rules dissolve, religion, binding dissolves, right? Its original meaning or word etymology. The truth lies within, and we are living the prophecy. You might even do greater things than I. So this lifetime isn't just another stop in the cycle. It's the cycle that we've been waiting for. So the Kundalini dragon and Christ force are rising together. And the journey to eternal life begins with a simple truth. It begins with a simple truth. You are the living water, and you're already free. Okay? You're already free. Any questions about this? What's going on? Humanity tries to go through all of these different cycles, It's always going from one cycle to another cycle. And that's what you have to really observe. Every month, why do I change the theme of Primal Sutra? It's because life is change, bro. It's constantly shifting, changing, weaving like this, right? But something within this change is happening, there is some kind of an invisible path that is your dharma, right? That remains true. So even amidst all of these changes happening, if you can resonate at this golden timeline, this energy, and you latch onto it, it's going to be incredible, actually. You just have to catch the wave. You might have the wave at certain pockets, right? Certain timelines. Wait, you understood the code, right? In this moment. It was January 15th. I went to this place. Then this happened, right? This little Satori. But then you made a dipped. You forgot about your spiritual powers. You stopped remembering. You forgot who you really were. And then you started to rise again. You started, okay, now you're enveloping new knowledge. Now you're growing. Okay. So this is kind of the journey. It's not this linear, it's not this linear thing, actually. It's this spiral. And the spiral keeps coming back towards you, right? It's this constant, like I'm on level 500, but it's still back to level 0. But I've been to level 500 though. You know what I mean? But it feels like the video game is starting from scratch when I'm starting from all these lifetimes of experiences. And so my self-talk as a god or goddess has got to change. It's got to be empowering when I hear myself in my own head. I don't want to be disempowered by some inner bully, someone who's there to take from me. Are you guys? Absolutely not. What's up, TK? Man, we are so tapped in. It's actually unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable how life keeps trying to get us down through various ways, different circumstances, and we still choose to rise. Why fall in love when I can rise in love? Why belittle myself when I can grow myself? And why do I keep making these similar mistakes in this Kundalini uh, journey? Okay. All right. So we're going to end with a couple of mistakes that people make when they go on this journey. Number one is just lack of preparation. Okay, there's no point in building this thing if there's not a solid foundation. And this is why we talk about Primal Sutra, going back to the source of things, back to the primal, back to the root cause. Okay, the original, whatever that was. I don't know if it was the Big Bang. Okay, I'm not going to go with that, but there was something, some spark that started this all. And we will now reverse engineer from there. We will become the uncarved block, the 0 points, so that we can manifest. We are Primal Sutra. Okay, Sutra is a formula or a process. So forcing awakening is a big mistake. You cannot force awakening using psychedelics, overstimulation, excessive breath work, right? You can, it will rise your Kundalini, but it won't be consistent, right? And maybe you guys have experienced this, these great epiphanies and codes and different things coming in when your mind is in this blasted, atmosphere and dimension where all these words, sounds, colors are floating. But how do I bring back the elixir of life from that realm? Right? That is our journey. That's what we're really looking to do. Okay? So let's work with this Holy Ghost, this Shakti within us, this energy, this Buddha nature. It will teach us. The Tao will teach us. But we've got to learn how to let go. Not just let go and release all the time. Like I'm not saying like some people say letting go, like it's just like, you know, I just have to let go. Like, bro, why haven't you let go yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, it's not just about letting go, because that's a huge process sometimes for a lot of people. It's not so easy to uncling. They're called attachments for a reason, right? So we practice this detachment as the Bhagavad Gita teaches us to zoom out and see situations because this is an illusion, right? Don't get so caught up in the video game of what your character is doing and wearing and forgetting about your missions, right? Because, yeah, that's cool too. And it's important to have a great character in this video game of life. But you got to engage in shadow work, right? Energy clearing. These practices are going to help you. And some people overestimate their readiness, but if you seek guidance just from a trusted teacher, any guru, experienced in Kundalini and any practices involving this stuff, I am deeply enriched and connected to the Kadampa lineage and the Jaisankapa and the traditions of what my father teaches. But then also I started off being a mystical dabbler, man, in the beginning. you know. Let's just watch a little Frank White video, in the corner here, and just then I'll just try this little spell, la di da, not really understanding that this technology was inside of me this entire time. You know how Sadhguru says inner engineering, right? This is an inner engineering. It's exactly what it is. This is like a process of renewal, right? Jumping to higher chakras. But without grounding, then you're stuck in your lower chakras again, right? So do the root chakra grounding work. Feel connected to Mama Gaia. I swear to you, earth magic and connecting to the earth right now is going to be so important. That's why you're getting a lot of patience codes right now. You're getting tested for your patience, correct? You're getting triggered and annoyed by people right now. Okay? For sure. Upward spiral to infinity and beyond, TK. So a lot of people also neglect their physical body. I notice this a lot that, you know, grounding techniques like walking barefoot, is that really that hard to do? Right? Maybe I get it. I understand. If you live in a big city, there's concrete everywhere. You live in a concrete jungle, I get it. But you can find a park somewhere. You know what I mean? You can find some soil somewhere. Real people, they don't find excuses like that. They just make it happen. You know what I mean? They just make it happen. They know when it comes from a right place, there's a deep knowingness that's more like a melody or a song. So that your soul sings in song, okay? And your spirit is in heaven. So the song, when you fuse that spirit or that heaven consciousness with the nowness, now it's like eternitas, right? Now you have this now ever energy, this living water, this immortality nectar, almost in a sense, that you can work from. Earlier, it's just like I just forget about the fusing, right? So people, lead themselves to fatigue or imbalance in the physical body, or just like, I don't know, binge eating stuff. Like I've found ways to counteract that because I've observed and been aware from the time that, like, let's say I'm midnight snacking one night, right? I will completely put myself into observer mode. Like, let's see this fucking cardboard cutout hologram do this thing, right? Let's let's see this fool actually, prepare the oats and like put the chocolate whey protein in it and like, you know, in watching it makes me laugh, bro. It's like, what is this character doing? You know? So when you can laugh at the ridiculousness of the self and the weird pulls and cravings that we have, it just becomes funny and it becomes a light, adventurous experience. It doesn't become self-sabotage, right? This heavy terminology that's crushing you slowly, right? Instead, it's like you got to understand how to incorporate your breath, your visualization throughout the day, constantly shifting and changing and staying in your dominant vibration and grounding yourself into the present moment again. You know, after this kind of spiritual states of ecstasy, you do develop an arrogance and a spiritual ego, right? So it's important to actually be humble and see Kundalini as a lifelong journey, not just an end. I've reached the checkpoint now. It's like, yeah, I could do whatever I want. Okay, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. What I didn't change. It's how I'm perceiving it that's now changed. The perception is different. These are Kundalini goggles, baby. And here we don't carry our luggage. Okay. All right. There's no need for luggage on Kundalini Airlines. Okay. So trying to go through this process alone without support or community is a big mistake. I've seen too many spiritual mofos isolate themselves and completely go off into their inner worlds and avoid spiritual contact with other people who are also in a shared experience and journey with them. And I am a proponent of solitude and isolation when it is for the right reasons. But if it's from a separation or a feeling of loneliness or a feeling like no one can understand me, like I'm just too different, if you're creating thoughts like that, you're going to create more separation and segregation, right? So it's important for you to remind yourself that you are connected to everything, actually. Okay? The good, the bad, and the ugly, whatever it is, you are connected to it all. And I'm going to now be the choice point and choose my visions, my vibrations, and maybe have overly psychic experiences, but I'm not going to be attached to those symptoms, right? I'm going to stay focused on my inner growth. So moving too quickly from one practice to another without allowing time for integration is also a big mistake that I've noticed in people, because a lot of people misinterpret physical and mental challenges to Kundalini awakening when they might have medical conditions. Okay? So don't misinterpret physical symptoms like that. Just please consult a healthcare professional, somebody who has, an understanding. At least they could rule out some other issues. Get a mental health coach if you don't want to go that route, or a counselor, a positive psychologist like myself, right? Somebody, a coach, right? Somebody could point it out to you, your blind spots, because you can only do shadow work when it's with somebody else. You're trying to do this all alone in journal, but it doesn't really work to that level. You see what I'm saying? So this is my understanding. Hey, as a coach, as a healer, I need my own healing. I need my own coaching too. Okay. I am a healer for healers as well. So that's beautiful. So we've got to not disregard ethical practice too. There's a lot of people who use Kundalini for personal power, ego enhancement, selfish goals, and things like this, rather than working with the desire to serve others. And that's another big trap. Okay. Because you're getting the elixir of life so that you can give it back to others, right? Not so you can siphon off of it and profit from it, right? So amazing, guys. This was an incredible live. Okay. We have 7 people watching. Shout out to all of you. Hey, hit that like button, man. What the fuck are you guys doing? 7 people watching. Let's go. Share this with a friend. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day, and may the flow be with you. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, make that choice, spring water or sewer water. Okay. I'm going to make living water my choice. Okay. Let's go. Osa. Advaita Vedanta. Okay. Non-dual. Let's go. Peace, guys. Much love. Hit that like and subscribe button. You already know we're here to win. To infinity and beyond. May we never be the same again. May the flow be with you. Upward spiral, gang, gang.